Hey everybody, it's Phil Bailey. I am coming to you to do a short little video about harvesting the sunflower microgreens. We're going to talk about, what is a microgreen, how nutritious is it, what does it taste like, what can you do with them, what kind of microgreens are there, and I'm going to be collecting them in here. I'm going to be soaking them in cold water. I'm going to be preparing them with either one or two. I'm going to be using either one of these. I'm not quite sure which one yet. And we have many different choices of oils and spray, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to use yet, but I'm trying to live more of a healthier lifestyle, so I'm probably going to go with the olive oil. And let's see what else. We are going to be using things like Ziploc bags, the scissors, which I'm just going to use for like cutting crop, I guess. And let's see, we got the wok. And real quickly, this is what I grow in. It's just a glass container I got from the dollar store. So as you can see, I have actually 4 of them now. I'm gonna get a lot more, but I think these are great to grow in, especially when you're doing like either hydroponic stuff where you're just kind of sprouting and eating the sprouts, or if you want to do like I have organic soil in here, you can see the roots down there. And I thought it was kind of cool to put rocks in the bottom and then to just kind of put that on display. And what I might even try to do is do like rocks on the bottom and put the soil on top of that, and then that way I can just, I don't know, I just want to experiment with that. And also, these sunflowers are very strong. I remember some videos, and you may remember some of the videos that I've done recently where I talked about how the sunflowers were stacked, just like these are stacked, and the ones on the bottom had pushed up because they're so strong and they like resistance in their growth. Um, my cousin said that sunflowers are kind of a weird and scary plant, but I like them. So let's go ahead and we're going to start. Actually, let's do it this way. Yeah, that'll be better for the camera, I guess. So basically, the benefit of growing sunflowers or any kind of sprout is that, well, I can grow it right here in my house. I usually have these in a dark closet when they're sprouting. Then I usually put them in a window for a little bit. I cover them in like saran wrap or like a Ziploc bag to give them kind of like a greenhouse thing going on. And that way they can be moist, not too wet, and keep the any gnat flies from wanting to fly around. So we don't have any gnat flies now. It's quite good. And we have our ceiling fan just over there. And we usually put these on the table underneath the ceiling fan, so that way we put it on like a low or medium or whatever. That also keeps any bugs from wanting to land, I guess, and just keeps the air going through them. So basically, all the ones that are not healthy or that I don't really think I'm going to be eating, like for example this one right here, it's just kind of um, ugly. I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm going to put it, where am I going to put it at? I'm going to put it in this pot for now. And all the ones that I do want are going to go in this pot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to harvest these, and then we're going to, and then like, so what I was saying was we're going to harvest them, and then they're going to be soaked in very cold water, and they just smell very, very sunflowery. This is kind of what it looks like. So this used to actually be the sunflower seed that we generally eat, and this is the stem and the sprout. You can actually cook these. I've made sunflower like chip things, like where you bake them, and it's all very, very good. So I guess I'm just going to snip. And the ones that are younger, I'm probably going to keep them growing, but the ones that are more mature are the ones that I'm going to harvest right now. and I'm going to preserve them in a one of these things with paper towels and stuff like that to absorb all the moisture and that kind of stuff. And actually, this will allow me to have my salad for at least 3 days with a similar freshness. So as I was saying, a microgreen is basically a seed that you sprout. Some people use sprouts as just sprouts, but there's a new trend in organic gardening which is called microgreens, and a microgreen is a few days after it sprouts. And what you do is you will harvest them as this kind of microgreen because it has 4 to 40 times the amount of nutrients. Then, if, for example, if this was a big sunflower plant, it's not going to be as nutrient because all the nutrients comes from the seed, and hence why microgreens are healthier than a lot of bigger plants. Like for example, I have some broccoli seeds that I'm going to start doing broccoli sprouts or broccoli microgreens, and the broccoli microgreens are going to be more nutritious than a much larger broccoli head. So that's kind of a cool thing. And another cool thing is people that cook and people that are really into food and flavor with food, if you grow your own stuff and then you're able to actually get a good harvest like I'm doing right now, like this is actually a very good yield of, you know, 4, maybe 5 person salad, because with the microgreens, you don't need as much. Like you could get a big salad right from the store, but let me move the camera a little bit closer. You can get a big salad from the store, but see, by doing that, it's like, you know, the salads go bad after a couple of days. The leaves that are in there may not be the most nutrient anyway, so it's kind of like, you know, what's the point? What I'm doing is I'm growing all my own salad ingredients, like the sunflowers. I got the kale growing. I have some collard greens growing, and that's just to start because I just started growing within the last 2 months, so I don't want to try to grow too much at once. But I am experimenting to see what grows best for me, and definitely I have sunflower seeds quite on lock. So let's see what else to talk about here. Okay, so what else can you do with these microgreens and these sunflowers? Well, like I said, you can eat them just like this. I can eat it raw if I wanted to. We actually did that yesterday. I made a mom a microgreen pre-walk run snack, and it was actually pretty good. She said she thought it was a bit bitter, but that's because she's not used to having greens like this, where it's just straight up fresh and like raw. And you can juice them like you would juice wheatgrass. Um, what else can you do with them? You can, like I said, make sunflower chip with them. They are good for garnishing on either salads or with other things like fish. Um, that's all I know of right now for what you can do with the sunflower. And as far as microgreens goes, like I said, it's a very trendy topic in the gardening world. And the only reason why I do this is not just because me being a sustainable architect, but that is part of it. You know, I figure if I'm going to be a sustainable architect, and if I'm going to be designing buildings which are going to make their own power and make their own food and stuff like that, you know, it would be a good thing to experiment, firsthand experience, what is it like to grow my own food, and how much better tasting is it than what I would buy at like Winco or something like that. Not that anything's wrong with Winco's food, but we all know how that goes in the food industry. It's just better if you know where all of your things are coming from, and um, you know, a 1 pound bag of these seeds cost me $1. That means that literally this much green, this much goodness for like, cents. This is not even the full bag, you guys. This is only like a handful of sunflower seeds that grew to this much. I filled up 4 containers with just about a handful to a handful and a half of sunflowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this video a bit short. It's about 10 minutes now. You can see some of the microgreens in there. This is going to be great. These are going to get soaked. They're going to get put into our containers. And basically every day I can just keep cutting off as much as I need every day. And like I said, I'm going to be making some noodles. I'm going to have some eggs. I'm going to put some of the sunflower in there. And definitely stay tuned for that. This is just going to be a multi-part video. I was just kind of bored. I just popped out of the shower, so I'm probably going to go play racquetball, go in the hot tub a little bit maybe. I don't know. Maybe do some designing. But thank you guys for watching, and definitely stay tuned for part number 2. Alright, peace y'all. Oh, and by the way, don't knock it before you try it, because this is actually truly good stuff, and it's good for you. Alrighty, peace.